I want to start today with something that basically started, a topic that started yesterday, was my evening, and it basically resolved in 38 minutes. That, let's say, discussion between Colombia and the United States, Trump and this zurdo de mierda Petro. But well, you already know how it ended. But let's do a review of what happened. First, you know that Colombia's government had already confirmed and accepted 2 flights from the United States with, people that were deported. Deportees? I don't know. But people that were deported. Illegal immigrants from Colombia that were being deported to Colombia in United States planes. Like halfway through, like arriving in Colombia, Colombia's government says, you know what? No, we're not going to accept them anymore. We are not going to accept them anymore. Turn around, but because, you have to treat our citizens with respect and such and such. The usual bullshit that all these leftards say. I could say that Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela is exactly the same. All of them are the same stuff. Okay, all the same are the same stuff. So Trump was not having it. And he said that this was while he was playing golf. It is my understanding that it was between holes. I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's Socialist president Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States. So I have directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. And this was from mere tweets, so to speak, from Truth Social. That is Trump's social media channel. Emergency 25 tariffs on all goods. And in 1 week, they will be raised to 50% tariffs. A travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials. No Disneyland for you, government officials of Colombia. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members, and supporters of the Colombian government. No Disneyland for you whatsoever. Enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds. Oh, you're going to spend 2 hours in the little room. IEEPA, Treasury, banking, and financial sanctions to be fully imposed. Their measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of the criminals they forced into the United States. And well, Trump had already said this long ago. Trump announces that if countries refuse to accept the migrants he deports en masse, he will force them down their throats through tariffs and other severe economic measures. So don't tell me, Petro, that you didn't know what was coming. And trigger warning, well, you can see that these socialists are ugly as fuck. The socialists are all ugly as fuck. No, it's not that socialism. I don't know if they were born that way or socialism made them uglier. I think that is maybe it's a bit of two. U.S. Embassy Colombia is closing the visa office starting tomorrow as well. No visas for Colombia. And well, 38 minutes, and tweets like those from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez already went stale. Oh, to punish Colombia, Trump is about to make every American pay even more for coffee. Remember, we pay the tariffs, not Colombia. And as Vittorio remarks, I don't know, but we need criminal illegals so coffee costs less. Doesn't sound like such a great argument as were people who were saying, oh, the flowers that you give out and Valentine's Day are going to be more expensive as well because they come from Colombia. Well, maybe people prefer to pay more expensive flowers instead of having, the criminal illegals in American soil. And yes, 38 minutes after Trump's post on Truth Social, Petro folded. So basically, I've waited in line for an empanada, the deep fried empanada, longer than the time it took Petro to fold like a beach chair. It's that simple. Yeah, I have waited more than 38 minutes for an empanada. I wasn't. Well, this is not my picture, but this is the kind of empanadas that you could eat at Margarita Island in Venezuela, and sometimes the line was a bit long. And if you wanted this is a full meal. This is a full meal in just one empanada. You might have to wait a bit. So yeah, 40 minutes. I guess that at some point I actually waited 40 minutes for that. Also, I got a very good post by Cynical Publius to fully understand just how remarkable today's exchange with Colombia was. You need to understand how Washington, D.C. has traditionally worked through these sorts of issues and the different way it works now under Trump. And this is a very funny approach, describing how Washington, D.C.'s bureaucracy worked before Trump. I'll illustrate. Traditional approach. Number 1, Colombia announces it will not take our repatriation flights. Number 2, on Monday, the State Department convenes an interagency task force with DOD, NSC, DEA, NSA, Commerce, Treasury, and Homeland Security. Number 3, the task force meets for 4 days and develops a position paper. Number 4, the position paper is rejected by the Secretary of State, who is unhappy that insufficient equity considerations are built into the process. Number 5, the task force reconvenes 1 week later, to redevelop 3 new equity-centric courses of actions and create a new position paper. Number 6, the process is delayed 1 week because Washington, D.C. gets 3 inches of snow. Classic. Number 7, Secretary of State approved the new position paper for interagency circulation, and considerable input is received from the heads of other departments, so the task force must reconvene. Number 8, the original 3 proposed responsive courses of actions are scrapped in favor of a new 4th course of action that achieves the worst aspect of the 3 prior courses of actions, but satisfies the interagency. My God, this is like Soviet Russia. Number 9, someone in the state who disagrees leaks to the Washington Post, who writes a story about how ineffective the presidential administration is. Number 10, the White House Chief of Staff sets up a session 3 days later to brief the president, who approves the new 4th course of action. Number 11, over a month after the issue is first raised, the State Department Public Affairs Officer holds a press conference announcing that Colombia has agreed to try to send fewer criminals into the United States, and everyone declares victory. But this is the Trump approach. This is the Trump approach that actually happened. Number 1, Colombia announces it will not take our repatriation flights. Number 2, after a par 5 third hole where he goes 1 under par, Trump uses his iPhone to post on social media as to how the USA will destroy Colombia's economy if they do not do what the USA demands. Number 3, by the time Trump gets to the par 4 6th hole, Colombia's president has agreed to repatriate all the illegal Colombians in his own plane. I forgot to mention this. In his own presidential plane, which he will pay for. Number 4, Trump finishes 3 under par and goes to the clubhouse for a Diet Coke, where he posts a gangsta AI image of himself and the new F around find out doctrine. Number 5, winning. See the difference? It's called leadership. But I still would like to know, what do you think about this approach to diplomacy from Trump in the comments. Let's highlight the live chat